This video provides a description for Martus's year-to-date budget comparison. When you first log into Martus, you'll start out in the Dashboard Financials. Use the Select Report dropdown to pick the year-to-date budget comparison. This report has several filters and settings. We'll take a look at those to tailor the presentation of data on the screen. Notice that rows are set to Account View, so information is presented in General Ledger account order, income followed by expense. You'll also notice that there is a filter for Start Date and End Date. These control the date range for this report. These dates default to the first and last dates of your fiscal year. In this example, that's January 1st through December 31st. You can change either or both of these dates if you wish in order to see information about a different span of time. The columns on this report include Total Budget, which is total budget for the selected date range for this particular row. Actuals, total actuals for the date range. Remaining, here actuals are subtracted from the budget to show the remaining budget available. If the actuals exceed budget, the result is shown in red. Percentage of budget. This column shows the actuals as a percentage of the total budget. Prior year to date shows the total actuals for the prior year, and the difference from the prior year to date compares the actuals for the current year to the actuals for the prior year. If the current year actuals exceed those from the prior year, the result is shown in red. The percentage difference from the prior year expresses the amount of the difference from the prior year as a percentage comparing the two values. You'll notice that some of the information on this report is color-coded. For example, each row is shown in blue. In Martus, blue always means that you can drill down. When you click on any row, the income statement for this full year is displayed, using the value for that row as a filter, plus applying any other filters, such as location or department, that you had already set when viewing this report. Here, I'll set rows to departments, then drill down on the department for Youth Center. So I see the income statement for the Youth Center department for the entire budget year. And as mentioned when describing the individual columns, Martus also color codes some comparisons. Red is always bad, and black is good. As an example, look at the life insurance line. Since the actuals have exceeded the budget, the remaining difference of $34,999 is shown in red. The difference from prior year to date is also shown in red if the current year's expenditures have exceeded. On this report, you can use the Rows drop-down to select how information is presented. Click there and you'll see that you can select an account category summary for each of the categories that are defined in Martus. You can also choose to set your rows to get a summary by each of the dimensions that you use in Martus. I'm going to select Program View Summary, for example, and click Load. I'll see a total for each program. You'll notice that there's a separate section for income and expense. If I wished, I could get a net summary for each project by clicking the Gain/Loss checkbox. The year-to-date budget comparison includes one unique and advantageous feature. If you click the Multi-Year checkbox and select a specific dimension value, then click Load, the start and end date are cleared and information is shown for all years in Martus. This checkbox must be used as illustrated in conjunction with choosing a specific dimension. This allows you to get overall information for the entire life of a grant. You'll also notice, when you select the Multi-Year checkbox, that the columns for the prior year-to-date actuals are not shown. They're not relevant because this report is for the entire life of the selected dimension. I'm going to return to the year-to-date budget comparison for an entire year shown by Account View and tell you about some other interesting features of the year-to-date budget comparison. All of the features that I've demonstrated are available to all users. However, the data shown to any given user is always limited to just the dimensions that that user is permitted to see. Excluded accounts are not shown on the year-to-date budget comparison by default. However, admin users and non-admins with appropriate privilege will see an option in the filters to include excluded data. Restricted accounts are never shown on this report, except to admin users and non-admins who've been granted the specific privilege to see them. You can use the drop-downs, as we've illustrated, to filter the report to any of your dimensions. When you come up with a combination of selections that you like, you can save this as a saved report. This way, you can easily go back to that combination of filters and settings just by picking from your list of saved reports. Since the year-to-date budget comparison provides a very compact look at your budget versus actuals, many Martus users like to set this report as their default view in the financials. In fact, many Martus admins have chosen to set this report as their global default view for all users who haven't set a personal default, since this offers very clear comparisons and a quick look at the bottom line. As with all Martus financials, budget to actual comparisons on this report are usually based on whatever budget is set as the default dashboard budget. However, admin users and privileged non-admins can choose a different budget to be used for comparison purposes. We hope you've enjoyed this presentation about the year-to-date budget comparison. Remember, you can also use the online help, the blue question marks, for more details. And you can check out our knowledge base to find out more about the other reports that are part of Martus's dashboard financials. And if you've still got questions, please reach out to your Martus admin or Martus support for assistance.